Hello, all my friends in Indonesia. I just wanted to have one last Facebook interaction with everybody to say that very sadly I'll be leaving Indonesia next week. And I'm going to miss all of you. I'm going to miss your great country so much. It's been a wonderful, wonderful 3 years here. We've made a lot of progress on building our bilateral partnership. I think I'm going to remember most fondly President Jokowi's visit to Washington last October, where he had this wonderful meeting with President Obama, and they agreed to elevate our relations to a strategic partnership. And President Jokowi decided at that time that they were going to take a very hard look at joining the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which I think is going to be a wonderful development for Indonesia and also for our bilateral relations. And more importantly, I think we've just made great progress to build all the people-to-people ties between our universities and our scientists and our non-governmental organizations of all kinds. And I really do expect that to continue to grow because we have common values, we have common interests, and those are just going to grow as Indonesia's importance in the world grows. So I'm very optimistic about the future of our relations, and even though I'm retiring from the State Department, I will continue to be a very strong supporter back in Washington, D.C. of building this relationship and helping more Americans to understand the importance of Indonesia now and why people need to know more about this great country. People often ask me what have been some of my greatest experiences here, and first of all, I'd say that I've been so fortunate to be able to travel all over Indonesia, from the northernmost tip of Aceh all the way down to Papua, and so many different places in between. I think somebody counted up that I've been to 26 different provinces in Indonesia, which is a lot, probably more than I've been in America. But probably some of my most memorable moments, let's see, one would be going up to Borobudur at sunrise and seeing the sunrise from the top of Borobudur and listening to the call to prayer. That was a truly, truly magical moment and sort of underlined for me the great diversity of Indonesia, including the sort of religious pluralism that you see here, which is so great and one of the reasons you have such a peaceful country. I'm also a great outdoorsman, so we had some wonderful diving experiences in Raja Ampat, which is one of the most spectacular places on earth, and I really loved that. And then another very memorable experience was taking my wife and my children to Tanjung Puting in Kalimantan to see the national park there, to see the orangutans. And we lived on a boat for 3 days in very, very simple style. It was just great. Nobody knew I was the American ambassador, so I was just another tourist, and I really enjoyed that. In terms of my other memories, of course, you can't go anywhere without experiencing Indonesia's great food. And my favorite still, I'm sorry to say, is something right here close to home, which is soto Betawi. But I had a lot of really great things. I remember having bubur Manado with the mayor of Manado one morning. I remember having solo serabi once. Of course, rendang from Padang, but you get rendang everywhere. I love having that. And so many other things like that. So I'm really going to miss that experience of tasting all the different foods and experiencing Indonesia's diversity in that way. And, last but not least, I'd just like to say thank you all to our Facebook friends and fans, and to all of our Twitter followers. I think we now have 300,000 Twitter followers, which is truly amazing. So it's really been great to interact with you and have a few sort of Twitter interactions, but maybe I'll try to continue that offline and be a Twitter follower here when I get back to Washington. But in conclusion, I just want to say what a great pleasure it has been to be here to represent my country in this very important country of Indonesia, to make so many great friends. And I really will miss Indonesia. I really will miss all of my Indonesian friends. But one of the great things about social media now is that we can all stay in touch with each other. And I look forward to coming back here as often as I can with my family to just see how this country is progressing and to see all my friends. So thank you again and good luck. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. That was a great speech. We've got lots of pouring comments coming in, just saying, "Sukses selalu, Bapak Dubes. Wish you well for your next future endeavors." And let's just take a couple of questions.
Sure.
That just came in.
Yeah.
One we got from Sugeng Sulistianto from Facebook. He asked, apa Anda punya rencana menulis buku tentang Indonesia menurut perspektif Amerika? Do you have any plans to write a book about Indonesia from the perspective of the United States?
The foreign ministry is probably very scared of what I'm going to say about this. No, I don't have any personal plans right now to write a book, but I will say my wife has already written a book. And she wrote a wonderful book called Journeys of the Heart. And it was all about her experiences, mostly with women social entrepreneurs. But she has a whole chapter on Indonesian food as well. And she loved writing that. If anybody's interested, I think there are a few bookstores in Jakarta that sell that, Aksara, maybe a few others. So take a look there. And it was a real pleasure for her to write that.
And that's great. The next one we've got from Twitter.
Yeah.
It's Christina Silalahi at silalahita.com. Her question is, apa pesan Bapak untuk generasi muda untuk mewujudkan cita-cita? And she's actually from Paratan, which is up in Lake Toba. I know you've been to Lake Toba. So she asked, what's your message to the younger generation, how to reach their goals?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd like to say hello to everybody up in Lake Toba. I had a lovely visit up there once with Pat Lohut. And my message to the young people of Indonesia is, first of all, that you have a great responsibility in many ways, because half of you are under the age of 30, and your country is going to become an increasingly important country in the world. And now we're facing a lot of problems around the world, and a lot of countries are retrenching and turning inward. So we need countries, we need partners who are going to help address the problems of peace and prosperity, about who's going to try to win the fight against ISIS, and who's going to do more counter-messaging against them, and who's going to help with the refugee crises, and who's going to help to build foreign trade and investment around the world so there are more jobs and opportunities for young people. Who are going to really help on all these things? And my hope is that Indonesia is really going to be one of those countries that steps up like that. And you already are doing that in many ways. But that's going to be the responsibility of the next generation. So I hope that all of you will study hard, you'll work hard, take every advantage to go overseas and learn more about, of course, my country, the United States, but other countries as well. Because we need internationalists. We need people who really know something about the world. And I've had a wonderful time interacting with young people here. And I think that really there's some exceptional people. And that gives me great hope, not only for the future of Indonesia, but also for the hope of the world. So work hard and be engaged. And as the great Indian leader used to say, be the change that you want to see. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Other questions?
Yes, just one last question from Instagram account. It's at Nancy Yossi _Yossi. And she asked, what do you like most about Indonesia? Aktivis, like, of course, apa yang paling berkesan selama Bapak bertugas di sini?
Well, as I said earlier, I think I love just the diversity of Indonesia. A lot like my own country in many ways. So many different people, so many different traditions, so many different cultures, and yet somehow, because of this great democracy, it all works. It all comes together, and you're all one strong country now, speaking one language and an increasingly strong sense of your nation. And that's a great thing. It's a very powerful thing, and that's, again, I think, a very important thing for the future of your country, but also for the future of the world. So, I just thank all of you for the chance to experience traveling around your great country, tasting all the lovely food, but also meeting such an extraordinary range of extraordinary people. And I will really miss that. And again, I wish you the very, very best and selamat sukses going forward. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih banyak Pak Blake atas waktunya. Well, thank you, Duta Blake, and we're definitely gonna miss you. So we want to just say one last goodbye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in.